Well, I'd put on a puppet show at the local senior center, and, well, they hadn't background checked me well enough, as I'm not actually allowed near vulnerable adults without police supervision. Still, they managed to round up most of the raccoons, and after some admittedly painful rabies vaccinations, most of the seniors came out of it okay. I do not recommend a Quaalude addiction. Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this brand new day. Yay! It is still dark outside, and it is 7:08 a.m. In fact, normally by this time I can usually see the trees in the forest out there. No, not right now. It is black. So, son of a gun, thumbs up for that. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone has had a great day. I am alive, and I'm going to talk about some things because that's what I do. It would be pretty boring for me to just sit here and stare at the camera and do nothing else. Little Gojira has been absolutely insane this morning. Earlier, she had her mason jar almost full of bedding. And what she was doing is she was parking herself in front of it, digging in her front feet, and then using her back feet and just kicking everything back. So she filled her mason jar and buried it entirely. Why? She's a hamster. And so I was just looking at her and laughing because she's so silly. So her mason jar was completely filled up and buried. When I looked down just now, she dug in, got to the back, put her feet down, and kicked it all back out. So her mason jar is now empty, but there's this huge mound of stuff over in the front. So mason jar, mound. She is a silly, silly goose. A very good thing. Dumpster is his second name, so even though Dust Mop is his real name, he was running around in his cage this morning. He's really super fluffy. I gotta bring him out again the next time he's active. But he is, woof. He is just incredibly furfy. And then Thigmo is very, very good. He's doing well. I pick him up, not a ton, but I do pick him up a fair amount, and that's a good thing, so he gets his handling. I've got to bring little Saber/Cream away from her spot on the wall closer so I can pick her up more often. She's been over against the wall for a time. And they need to be handled. They need to be able to sniff your fingers. They need to be picked up and then brought out so they can run around. One of the things that I wish I could do is free roaming, which they don't have to just free roam. You don't just set them on the ground and then just, let them run around while you do other things or they'll be gone. It's you set up a specific area because they make, little playpen type cage things where they're like little squares of mesh, bars like this, and they connect, and then you disentangle it and you can make a playpen. If you get a couple of them, you can get a really large area, and then you just scatter toys and you make hide spots and you put covers so that they can go underneath and explore and not feel wide open spaces trapped. And then you let them free roam. It gets them out of their area because they have tiny, tiny brains, but they get bored too. They need stuff to do. They need places to explore. They need things to see. That's one of the things that I really, really, really wish I had room and money to buy for. I watched this one channel. It's like Victoria Rachel, something like that. She's got a fair amount of pets. But what she has now, one of her hamsters died, but she has a big hamster cage. And I mean, it's about 3 feet deep, top to bottom, and about 3 feet side, front to back, and then about 4 feet wide, and it is filled with bedding and stuff to climb on, and it's like this much bedding, and that's good. That's really how much bedding hamsters really, really need. But you can only give them as much, of course, as you can. Give them too much, they're out and they're gone. So you don't want to do that. So it's a good thing, and I wish I had the ability to get a cage like that. One of the things that I do want to get, and I should put it like on my Amazon wish list, is if you get playtime sand, children's sand, and then you bake it to get rid of anything on it to make sure it's safe. Hamsters love sand baths. They're desert creatures. Dust, because they are low to the ground. They're not chinchillas. You know, if you get chinchilla dust, you're just going to hurt your hamster because they breathe it into their lungs, and that's not good. But sand, they like sand baths. So if you get this playtime sand, bake it, and then you put it into little things so that they can get into it, they just clean themselves and they just get all sandy, and it's good. Now, mostly I've seen dwarves do that, but Syrians do it too. Thumbs up for that. Let's see, what was the other thing I was going to mention? Oh, because there were a couple of them. Well, one of them was the fact that last night I did go walkies again. I'd gone walkies the night before, but last night I went walkies. In fact, it was early. It was 6 o'clock, and I was just antsy and bored, so I got up and I went for my walkies. It was a 6-mile walk. I got back a little bit before 8 o'clock. Excuse me. I left a little after 6, so it was less than 2 hours. So I'm walking faster than the requisite 3 miles per hour. Excuse me. I drank a Pepsi this morning. A non-calorie Pepsi, and so I still have carbon dioxide making its way out of my tummy. But the night before I'd walked, and so last night I went walking, zoomed all the way up there, zoomed all the way back. My legs were feeling kind of antsy beforehand. They weren't feeling bad, but they weren't feeling good. And remember, my legs are, if you have poor circulation, poor-ish circulation to really bad circulation, when you move, your circulation, your blood does not provide your cells with enough oxygen. And so if, depending on how bad your circulation is, it can be anywhere from, if you walk 5 miles, then your legs start to hurt because, oh, you're not getting enough oxygen to your muscles, to people who have to walk very carefully and very slowly just to get across the room, because if they walk it any more than a slow shuffle, their legs ache so bad because they're not getting enough oxygen. I'm the opposite. If I don't do things, my legs just ache from inactivity. And it gets bad. So, occasionally, like yesterday, I get antsy and have to go out beforehand because my legs are starting to ache and hurt. Oh, Amelia just came back in the window. She was in here all night, and then I fed her, she dashed, and now she just came back in. And so my legs were feeling not so wonderful, but I still went out walking, and that was a good thing. Walked all the way up, and my housemate is up. He's taking their doggy outside. But I went for that walk, and then I made it all the way back, and my legs were broken and sore, and my back was killing me. And sitting in the chair, my legs were still feeling that ache of, oh, we're hurting because they're not using us. It was because I was broken. Once I go walkies, 6-mile walkies, I'm done. I am done. I can't go out walking again. I can't do anything. I'm broken. I'm done. And instead, my legs were still saying, you know, we're not doing anything. You need to get up and work. So that was joyous. That was fun. Especially since with my insomnia, toward the end in here, I finally went to bed just before 11 o'clock. And even at that, excuse me, even at that, I slept, and joy. I mean, sleeping is good, but it's just I woke up early and hurting. So, yay. But my kitty cat's in. Yay! And I was thinking more about... my sincere apologies. I was thinking more about my story ideas, various story ideas. Now, you don't just want to think about the same thing or you're going to get bored. So it was different stuff and different things. And I was finally, after months of dealing with just, the various cosmic horror types of stories, I came back to one of my fantasy type stories where I talked before about, in the concept of this particular universal story, how there's mana stones that power things, and occasionally a chunk of mana stone, about a size of your fist, it can power enough magic that an entire solar system is filled with this magical power that, if there's creatures there, they can harness and use. But that's about as big as you find, and you might only find one or two of those chunks that powers up a solar system inside of a major galaxy like the Milky Way. Well, in the context of this planet, it got wanged with a mana stone so big that this mana stone powers all the magic, not just in that major galaxy, but in 3 other major galaxies and about 80 of the smaller globular galaxies that follow along inside of this mega cluster. It's that much mana. And in fact, it, for I can't remember in the context of my story idea, but it's like about 1 billion years for the level of mana on the planet itself to fall below a lethal level. But even though, nothing alive has been there, that's still, the mana has been steeping into and affecting absolutely everything. And then, of course, to bring the level down, I thought, well, you'd probably have to have things like manaphages, because things are bubbling up all the time. It's just that the magic is so lethal a level that anything alive boils up out of the magic and then continues to boil because it's not inimical to life, until you come up with a natural thing like a manaphage. They eat the magic. So they go running through, these things, they're just eating dirt. They're not big, they might be just microscopic, but through time as they continue to evolve. But they don't eat and destroy the mana, they just eat and encapsulate it, so it's like in these lead-lined dropping things. And the droppings there just continue to absorb ambient mana until they're full, and then they glow. At which point they just block, like they're made out of lead. And so it pulls the ambient mana out of the air and blocks all these things. So after about half 1 billion years or such, finally the level of mana falls down to a below lethal level, at which point, several 100,000 years later, we have people. But it was with 1 billion and some odd years of this mana soaking into everything. That's why you got things like the Thousand Islands, where the blue elves live. But the Thousand Islands are literally, if you stand on one side of the bay and look across, you can just see the tip of one of the tallest peaks over the horizon. And inside of that bay area, it is literally the deeper you go, the bigger it gets. There's vortexes like that are literally infinite. The further in you go, the deeper and wider and more islands there are. If you come in the one side of it, you'll never come out the other. Because the deeper you go, the bigger it gets. And so the blue elves that live on the inside of this bay have been mapping as much as they can of that, but there is an area where it's chaos, in that maybe the level of chaos pulls back a bit and you can colonize this one island, and every day it's still there, but one day you wake up and through the fog you realize that's not the island that was there last night, because that little area has moved a bit and now everything is different. All the people that were there are still there, and islands move in the chaos, but since there's literally an infinite amount of space to go in that direction and only a few miles to go in this direction before you're out of this uncertainty area, the odds are you're never coming back. You're not dead, you're not in trouble, you're still on your island, you're still alive. It's just that on a daily basis, every other island surrounding you is likely different. Surrounded and filled with its own people. So yay, I've been dealing with that, trying to figure out what to do with the stories, because I've already got one story where there's this one swordsman, Dorian, and one of the blue elves. Yeah, her name is Melidor. And then a wizard, Keltamar. And then there's a vegetarian ogre, Scorn. So weird stories, have to go on with that. Just walked to Walmart, walked all the way back thinking about this subject, and it's a very good thing. Definitely a thumbs up. Past that, just surviving, and that's a good thing. So, oh, excuse me, my tummy. First thing I did, of course, I haven't eaten anything, but I drank a half-a-liter bottle of Pepsi. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment in the comment section on my channel. Yay! I'm not reading the comments right now on purpose. I have excellent peripheral vision. I'm just thanking people for having left a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent comment. Thank you for having taken the time to have left a comment. Now, I have trash canned some comments because abusive comments, no, they're gone. Now, you can disagree with me violently, but if you're not abusive, the comments will say, and I may comment, I may not, I don't know. But if they're abusive, they're gone. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language, oh, so sorry about losing my mind. As you can tell, I'm having memory issues. So thumbs up for that. Let me call it my Chrome. So we have Melodios Gaming. I sure hope I'm close with your name. Thank you very, very much. Plank Gas, thank you very much. Kathy Kitscat, greatly appreciated. Gaelic K. Pantohan, sure hope I'm close. Sebastian Ferris, thumbs up and thank you. Bailey Snyder, greatly appreciated. August West, thumbs up and thank you. First name, last name, sound of a gun, a very good thing. Trinity Mashups, greatly appreciated. Gonzalo Duarte, greatly appreciated. Rich Spears, thumbs up. Tom Dwan, greatly appreciated, of sorts. Tommy Matthews, greatly appreciated. Victor Cavalcante, sure hope I'm close. Esau Nagar, greatly appreciated. I am so sorry about my voice box getting clogged so often too. Colin Reisenauer, thumbs up and thank you. Jashu, greatly appreciated. Wellington Silva, greatly appreciated. Darkened Wolf, thumbs up and thank you. Marathathor 2, it's been a while since I've seen you in the comments. Parker Kissel, greatly appreciated. Ivanners, thumbs up and thank you. Russian Timing, greatly appreciated. And then we have Cameron Lee, thumbs up and thank you. And last but not least, David Hines. Now, David Hines was one of those who disagrees with me, but wasn't abusive about that. So fine. No reason to get rid of the comment. Again, you can disagree with me violently, as long as you're not abusive. Thumbs up for that. Hey, it's different opinions, different likes and dislikes, different thoughts are what make the world go round. Thumbs up for that. Woof. Oh, excuse me. Well, my housemates are, or at least one of them, is showering at the moment, and so thumbs up for that. If you hear the sounds of plumbing, that's what's going on. Definitely a thumbs up. If you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. I am actually going to be renewing that and then having to pay the guy who's renewing it for me, because even though I haven't done anything with it yet, doesn't mean I'm not. As soon as I really start getting the energy to write, I'm going to, so definitely a thumbs up. What else? Oh, yes. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you didn't want to support me but didn't want to do any of those, I have a PayPal link down below that you could check out. That would be very cool. I have an Amazon wish list that you could check out. I have things like cat food, hamster food, silly things, non-silly things. So if you could check that out, that would be very awesome. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated. My views for my channel are just plummeting downwards. So if you could watch, that would be awesome. Well, very cool. I can't remember what else I say, but hopefully I've said at least some of it. I hope. My brain is failing. It's a good day. I am so tired. I did not sleep well at all last night. But I got this video. I've got another video coming up at least. I got more of the Outer Worlds. Is there an intro for this video? You know before I do. So hopefully there is or isn't. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend. And that is a very good thing. It is a thumbs up, and I will see you on the flip side. A good thing.